Are the Steelers the sixth best team in the NFL?
No, the Steelers aren't the sixth best team. I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a lot of ingredients of what you want in a football team playing right now. I mean, defensively, they got pass rush. They got two outstanding pass rushers. Their defense overall is pretty stout. They got a veteran quarterback that you've seen the impact that he's had on this offense coming from last year when he was out the entire year. They got a plethora of receivers that you can distribute the ball to, veteran offensive line. So to have the Steelers at 6 is it's a little bit head scratching considering they beat the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore this past game.
Pollock, what do you think?
I hate this. I hate these numbers. Listen, you watch the World Series. We saw that too, right? Let's take our quarterback out of the game. How'd that work out for you? It worked out great. They just beat the Baltimore Ravens. Listen, I'm fine if you don't put the Steelers at number 1. Okay, if you don't put them at number 2, but to put them at 6, this is why I don't look at a lot of these metrics, because they don't make any daggum sense. And, they beat the Ravens. I like what they are constructed-wise. I like the way they play defense. I like how physical they are. I like how Big Ben's playing. So FPI, whatever the analytics say, I guess just yank them out of the Steelers. Y'all might as well quit.
Hey, David, watch out for Dominique, because he's going to come at you about these numbers. He's good with these numbers now.
I'm not gonna come at you about these numbers. I also was confused. I was confused by their rating, but I'm not gonna go so far. David had to go too far. Like, the point of the analytics is that it can show us stuff that the eye test can't show us. Like, that's the point. What's the point of having these numbers if they're just gonna tell us the same thing that we see? I understand that. I agree. I think that they are much better than that ranking. However, they do have holes, and I think one of those holes is we are pretending as if Big Ben is the Big Ben of old. No, Big Ben is throwing short passes and letting his guys make big plays, which makes for a more volatile offense. And that defense is devastating. And I agree, they should be higher than the Ravens, given the fact that they just beat the Ravens. Because I watched that game and it didn't feel like the Ravens deserved to win necessarily. It felt like a pretty close game that the Steelers pulled out. So I'm with you. The eye test tells me that the Steelers are better than 6, but what's the point in having analytics if they're just going to tell us what the eye says? Tell us. And I've never heard somebody say, I hate numbers. I hate numbers. Numbers aren't bad. Numbers aren't good. They're just honest.
Go ahead, David.
No, they can be skewed any way you want to skew them, by the way, too. And I understand what you're saying, by the way, Nick, about Big Ben, but he doesn't have to be Big Ben of old. He's got a great defense. He's got great wide receivers. He's got a great tight end that he can do what he did in the second half, by the way. Watch the second half. I love it. They go up-tempo. He's making all the decisions at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he has to be that backyard guy that breaks a bunch of tackles and makes a bunch of plays and goes out and wins it for his team. I think he can be a part of this ride and get it to his playmakers quickly and use his brain and his experience, and the Steelers can be deadly because of it.
Can I bring Graziano into this quickly? Because you made 2 points in our meeting this morning, things that the numbers don't necessarily measure, and one of them is about the coach.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin, the coach. When you talk to people in Pittsburgh's building, I mean, Mike Tomlin is a big part of the reason they believe they can be successful this year. It's a strange year. It requires a steady hand to get you through all the COVID-related issues and reschedulings, and the Steelers believe they have the perfect guy to manage that. That's the kind of thing that FPI isn't going to measure. And look, I mean,
don't let the facts get in the way of the numbers.
The numbers are good.
Nah.
The numbers are a good tool to have. They're not skewed on their own. It's we, the humans, who do the skewing of them. And the reason they exist is because humans are imperfect and we can't trust our eye tests fully. So you use them both together. But these games are so close so much of the time. An old special teams coach told me once, that ball is not round and it bounces funny. It's hard to know how much stock to put into a head-to-head win as a measure of which team is better than the other. Yes, it matters, but it's not the be-all and end-all. The Steelers think that they're better than their underlying numbers because of some intangibles, one of which is the leadership of Mike Tomlin.
I will just say this.
Graz, I hate that you're rational right now. Stop being rational.
Yeah, I prefer,
gotta
you know
be
what?
me.
I'll see that and I'll raise you a dadgum, which I really enjoyed from Pollock. and we're going to need more of that as we go. And frankly, once again, I'm on David's side. Any numbers that add up to them being the 6th best team in the league should be discounted. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.